Hello, Camas Whoopie, and welcome to Nature Adventures with your boy Jacob. This week, fishing. So, what better place to fish than our very own Lake Massawippi? And lucky for me, I'm here today. Beautiful lake, early morning, calm water, no one on the lake. It's all mine. So what we're gonna see today is the basics of fishing, because fishing is one of those things that you could get into in depth and you could like practice and do all kinds of different fishing. You deep sea fishing, you do lake fishing, river fishing, all kinds of different fishing. They all demand different knowledge, but there are some basic rules I'm going to teach you today. All right, so the basic tips for fishing are: number one, you need to know what fish are in the area that you're fishing, because fishing is like a mental game. You need to lure the fish in, you need to tempt the fish. The fish is gonna bite based on what you do and what you know. So, for example, in Lake Massawippi, we have rainbow trout, we have brown trout, we have bass, we have pike. Those are the big name ones. There's some catfish too. So now that you know what fish are in the lake, you need to get to learn the fish themselves. Because if you're going after bass versus if you're going after catfish, those are two different things. So you're gonna need to fish for them in two different ways and two different places. Once you know where you're gonna fish, once you know what fish are gonna be in there, then study the fish themselves. And you can do that by online. It's easy. You got tons of resources and super easy to find. So for example, in Lake Massawippi, we have bass. And now bass likes warm water. It likes areas where there's like on the edge of weed beds, or there's fallen down timber in the water, areas where they can have some shelter. And they also bite minnows. They eat smaller fish. Minnows are smaller fish. And now I don't have a minnow today, but I do have a minnow lure. So just like this. So hopefully, if we're lucky, we might catch some bass. Now for the last point, which kind of goes along with the first one. You want to know where to fish. So there are general rules. Fishing is a game of chance, right? So if you're casting in a place where the fish usually stay, with something that they usually eat, at temperatures that they usually like, then your chances are way higher. You want to know where to fish. So general rules is areas like points on the lake or at the edge of weed beds, or areas where smaller fish can find shelter, because that's where the bigger fish come and eat them up. When it was a calmer lake, you could see areas of there was a disturbance in the water. And that's often where there's fish swimming under, or there's fish swimming up to the surface to get bugs. While I'm here, might as well teach you the basics of a fishing rod, and how to cast and how to reel in. There's not that much to it. Once you get used to it, it's pretty much smooth sailing from there. So this part here is called the bail, and this is the part that holds your rope tight, okay? It takes off the slack in your rope. There's no slack, keeps it tight. When you lift it up, I'm holding the rope right now, and when I let it go, there's nothing holding the string, so it just keeps pulling out and pulling out and pulling out. When you want to cast, you lift it up, open up the bail, hold it with your fingers, and now what I do is I pinch it with my thumb. You hold it tight, so there's no slack. Once I release this with my thumb, then it just shoots out like string, like Spider-Man. So holding it, bail open, and then you flick. Close the bail and reel in. Now for reeling, there's a pretty simple technique, which is you want to reel in slowly, not too fast, not too slow. And depending on your fish, a technique that is widely used is called, you can call it popping, you can call it jerking, you can call it whatever. But the point is you pop the fish, like you give a hit with your rod, and then you reel in the slack. So you pull, pause, reel in, pull, pause, reel in. Because what that does is it makes your lure or your bait looks like it's injured, easy prey. So the fish go crazy. They're like, look at this fish, it's swimming all weird, easy prey. Next thing you know, bamboozled, it's yours. All right, so now I'm gonna cast for a bit and hopefully we'll find something. Better luck next time, eh?